5 True Scary Horror Stories. Story 1. The Haunted Apartment. Our first story comes from a young couple, Mark and Jenna, who moved into a seemingly perfect apartment in the heart of the city. However, their dream home quickly turned into a living nightmare. Strange noises echoed through the walls at night, and the temperature would drop to an icy chill without warning. One evening, Jenna woke up to find a dark, shadowy figure looming over their bed, its eyes glowing a menacing red. Terrified, the couple sought help from a local paranormal investigator, who discovered that the apartment had a dark history of violent deaths and unsolved murders. The investigator performed a cleansing ritual, but the malevolent presence refused to leave. Mark and Jenna were left with no choice but to flee the apartment, leaving behind their possessions and their sense of safety. To this day, they still have nightmares about the haunted apartment and the evil that lurked within its walls. Story 2. The Stalker in the Woods. Next, we have a chilling tale from a group of college friends who decided to go camping in a remote forest. As they set up their tents and gathered around the campfire, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Strange rustling noises came from the bushes, and they caught glimpses of a shadowy figure darting between the trees. One of the friends, a girl named Sarah, ventured into the woods to use the restroom and never returned. The group searched for her frantically, but she was nowhere to be found. As the night wore on, they began to hear Sarah's voice calling out to them from the darkness, pleading for help. But when they followed the sound, they found only silence and an eerie stillness in the air. The next morning, they discovered Sarah's body hanging from a tree, her eyes wide with terror. The police never found the killer, and the friends were left to wonder if the stalker in the woods was ever truly human. Story 3. The Cursed Painting. Our third story takes us to a small antique shop, where a young art student named Liam discovered a beautiful but unsettling painting. The artwork depicted a woman in a white dress, her face obscured by a veil. Liam bought the painting and hung it in his dorm room, but soon strange things began to happen. He started having vivid nightmares of the woman in the painting, her face twisted in agony as she reached out to him. Liam's grades began to slip, and he became increasingly paranoid and isolated. One night, his roommate found him standing in front of the painting, his eyes glazed over and his mouth muttering incoherent words. When the roommate tried to snap him out of it, Liam attacked him with a knife, screaming that the woman in the painting had commanded him to do it. The police arrived and took Liam away, but the painting disappeared from the dorm room without a trace. Some say that the cursed artwork is still out there, waiting for its next victim. Story 4. The Babysitter. Our fourth story is a classic urban legend with a terrifying twist. A teenage girl named Lisa was babysitting for a wealthy family in a sprawling mansion. The parents left for a night out, leaving Lisa alone with their 2 young children. As the night wore on, Lisa began to hear strange noises coming from the upstairs bedroom. She went to investigate and found the children huddled in a corner, crying and pointing at the closet door. Lisa opened the door, expecting to find a monster or a boogeyman, but instead, she found the parents' bodies, brutally murdered and stuffed inside. Horrified, Lisa grabbed the children and ran from the house, calling the police on her way out. When the authorities arrived, they discovered that the killer had been hiding in the attic the entire time, watching Lisa and the children through a small peephole. The killer was never caught, and Lisa was left to wonder if he was still out there, waiting for his next victim. Story 5. The Possessed Doll. Our final story comes from a family who bought a beautiful antique doll at a garage sale. The doll had long, curly hair and big, blue eyes that seemed to follow you around the room. The family's young daughter, Lily, immediately fell in love with the doll and insisted on sleeping with it every night. But soon, strange things began to happen in the house. Objects would move on their own, and Lily would wake up with mysterious scratches on her arms and legs. One night, Lily's parents heard her screaming from her bedroom. They rushed in to find the doll sitting on top of Lily's chest, its hands wrapped around her throat. The parents managed to pry the doll off of Lily, but when they looked at its face, they saw that its eyes had turned a deep, malevolent black. They immediately threw the doll in the trash and took Lily to a priest for a blessing. But to this day, they still hear the doll's laughter echoing through the house, a reminder of the evil that once lurked within its porcelain heart. There you have it, 5 terrifying true horror stories that are sure to keep you up at night. Thanks for tuning in to another spine-chilling episode of Scaretastic. If you have a true horror story of your own, be sure to share it in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying tales.